back to the special presentation of Red, White, and Boots.
Here's Charlton Heston.
In the most famous speech ever made in America, Abraham Lincoln said, "The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here." Well, of course, we all remember what Abraham Lincoln said that day in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. There are those of us who could repeat it word for word. But Lincoln touched on a core of truth. History occurs around us, often with us being unaware of those who make it.
Its heart beats with freedom, opportunity, and independence. A state that represents the best of America's values, hopes, aspirations, and love of freedom. The Lone Star State of Texas. No one understood that better than its first senator, Sam Houston. Along with Jim Bowie, Davy Crockett, and other proud pioneers, Sam Houston came to Texas to breathe the air of freedom and to fight for it. Sam Houston left a legacy of leadership which is proudly carried on today by another great Texan, U.S. Senator Phil Gramm.
Deep down in his heart, every Texan is a cowboy. The cowboy defines what we are as a state. The real cowboy that drove cattle up the Chisholm Trail really only existed for 20 years, and yet he is the original epitome of America, the real American character.
When we think back to the legend of the American cowboy, two separate images come to mind. One is the cowboy as a law enforcer, and the other is the cowboy as a rebel. Carrying on the Western tradition of the cowboy as a law enforcer, Chuck Norris has returned to the state of Texas to do a show about a famous Texas Ranger.
Well, actually, the history of the Texas Rangers goes back to the early 1800s, and the tradition of the Texas Rangers is probably one of the best law enforcement groups ever assembled in the history of America.
On the other side of law and order is the cowboy portrayed as a classic outlaw, the bad guy. And some of today's Western filmmakers are presenting this concept a bit differently. Clint Eastwood's film, Unforgiven, is a Western that challenges our modern values. By breaking down well-worn stereotypes of the cowboy, Eastwood has found a way to bring new realism to the old Western.
He starts out with the leading character, Money, who's a man who's really has great demons in his past and great things to deal with. These demons that he has to live with are very important because it shows he has a conscience. That there's usually not much conscience shown in some Westerns. I mean, the hero is usually a fellow who's free of any kind of regrets about his past.
It's a hell of a thing, killing a man. You take away all he's got and all he's ever gonna have.
Yeah. Well, I guess they had it coming.
We all have it coming, kid.
dark-haired man. In her younger days, they called her Delta Dawn. Prettiest woman you ever laid eyes on. Then a man on the road agreed, stood by her side, and he promised her he'd take her for his bride.
Those legendary years when the West was won was a time when early settlers created traditions and established the heritage that we look to today for inspiration. And through music and film, we experience again what it really means to be an American. We've honored the American dream in so many ways, from the simple gathering of family and friends to the battles we wage every day against drug abuse. We've fought to preserve our dreams, and we've always succeeded in keeping the great American tradition alive. We continue to celebrate the never-ending spirit of the great American West. I want to thank you for joining us for Red, White, and Boots. I'm Hugh O'Brien. See you around.
Red, White, and Boots has been brought to you in part by